Whenever we believe we have seen it all, the universe shows us that we have not yet reached the peak of transformation. What we are experiencing right now is unique. All those events, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, cyclones, plasma streams from the sun, solar flares showing to the earth, keep hitting the headlines. It feels like there is an extreme event every single day. I personally went through an incredible upgrade earlier this week from a special event that I will talk about it in a moment. It took an extreme toll on my body, or rather, it completely knocked me out for 3 days. So don't be surprised if you too are feeling very tired, sick, under the weather, and not balanced at all right now. Your body has to adapt first, and that is sometimes very tedious. The quickest way to do this is to get help from someone who can get you back on track. So what was this particular event and what else is happening over the next few days? Stay tuned and learn about it in this video. We just experienced for the first time in 2020 the interruption of the Schumann resonances for several days, and that has just happened a second time now from Easter Sunday to Tuesday. The Schumann resonances or frequencies are quasi-permanent electromagnetic waves. They exist in the space between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. In 1954, Professor Winfried Otto Schumann succeeded in determining the dominant principal frequency as the fundamental frequency at 7.83 Hz, with several frequencies occurring between 6 and 50 cycles per second. The 7.83 Hz are therefore actually the pulse beat of the Earth. And at the same time, it is also the basic natural frequency of the human brain. Thus, it influences our life and consciousness. This frequency is received by the pineal gland, which controls all our bodily processes. In addition, it has a great influence on hormone regulation, and it is a clock for the brain as it addresses the limbic system. This area of the brain is responsible for emotions. Experience has shown that people who were artificially exposed to Schumann resonances were able to achieve positive changes in terms of their mental state. They felt better, were more motivated, and enjoyed better sleep. Likewise, researchers found that this miraculous frequency could also be used to treat illnesses. Sick cells began to reconnect with healthy cells. As a result, disease symptoms could be alleviated. So it is very important for our physical, mental, and psychological well-being that we are in tune with the pulse beat of the Earth. On a higher level, the Schumann frequencies forms of our collective memory, our collective brain. That's why interference frequencies are fed into it to throws of balance, like for example HAARP. You may have heard about that as well. So what happens when the Schumann frequency is off? It is that we feel physical symptoms, a feeling of sickness, dizziness, headaches, nausea, but also fears and other negative symptoms, emotions can increase drastically. We are cut off from the collective memory, which can be very confusing for many people and leads to anxiety. They don't know what's happening around them. But this current outage also had a deeper meaning. It places itself in a series of extreme universal events that prepare us for the new time. The frequencies are getting faster and faster, and for this it is necessary that our bodies are also tuned to the faster frequencies. This outage was like a reset button that brought us all into a higher vibration. It was a massive upgrade for our consciousness, so to speak, causing the physical bodies to lag behind and physical symptoms to occur here as well, because the body has to adjust to this faster frequency. Think of it as a reboot that takes you to a new timeline, and all these billions of cells in your body have to adapt at the same time, and that's massive. It is now time to put aside the fight or flight mode and stop being influenced and held back by old programming, beliefs, or conditioning. It's time to create new pathways and then step boldly forward. Learn to move from your inner motivation without controlling anything with your willpower. Push the ego aside and let your soul guide you. Look for like-minded people to accompany you on your path. And start questioning everything, because you have all the answers within you. Don't wait for someone to give you answers on the outside. You don't need anyone to tell you what is right or wrong for you, or what is universal, okay or not. Become your own guru and follow your inner guidance. Who and what is important to me? What are my true friendships? Is my job still suitable for me? Is it really my calling, or is it just a means to make money? What do I want to bring into the world? It is time when nothing sticks together anymore that does not longer work. Relationships, friendships may come to an end. Professional reorientation may be imminent. This change is enormously demanding and exhausting because you have to decide every single day anew what is important to you. You may have completely new ideas that motivate you, but also frighten you. Now is the time to put aside the fear and courageously walk the new path. The old ways in this 3D world that were ego-based, are worn out. They don't serve you anymore. And the quicker you change to your true path, the less problems you have in the future, because you're already walking the path you were always supposed to walk. Make your personal decisions consciously. Every decision has a direct effect. One thought of yours could literally influence the inner molecule of a star in the universe. That's quantum laws. Thought hygiene is the be-all and end-all. If you control your thoughts and don't let your inner critic influence you, that's half of the battle. Question yourself again and again. If doubts and fears come to the surface, are they really objectively justified, or is it my brain going crazy again? Trust your heart, because the heart always knows what's the right choice or decision. Everything that is now set in impulses will find its unfolding. And of course, this applies to both sides, positive and negative impulses. From July on, the set impulses will then find their unfolding. So what you're starting now in July will actually start to manifest itself. But be aware that we still have an axis of tension until October 23. Now is the time where we create new timelines every day anew, and you can always decide anew on which timeline do you want to be. The one of fear, doubt, or the one of joy, confidence, and positivity. Chiron is coming in with an orbital period of 50 years, influences us at this time as well, and brings forth our primal pain. Chiron represents this pain that we carry because we can never quite merge the physical with the spiritual. And that creates this constant pain in us, our core wounding. Where do you carry this pain? It is the chance for a great inner healing, but first you have to feel the pain. You have to know what it is and where it comes from, because you instantly feel that something is changing. With the current portal opening, we are embarking on cleansing and detoxification on all levels, internal and external. Deep fears will be erased during this cleansing, but as a consequence they can show up again strongly, so don't be surprised if these old things come up. They are just to be cleansed and released. Darkness will be transformed into light, and higher energy will integrate into our own system and into our own lives. Again, the code word here is mind control. Don't let feelings of hopelessness, fear, confusion, and doubt get you down. Let the feelings run through you and then lovingly let them leave. On April 20, that's a big date, we have a new moon in the sign of Aries, both representing new beginning. The new moon and Aries are both representing new beginnings, and that's just amazing. And at the rising lunar node is also there at the same day at the same time, which means that darkness is pushed into the light. Systems can crumble. Things that have been hidden are suddenly dragged into the light. We have already gotten a taste in that the last few days with the releases about the political involvement in the Ukraine war and the lies in the pandemic. The current video about the Dalai Lama is also a great example, and many more. Get ready for many more revelations, collapsing systems, and unexpected developments. The solar eclipse, which also is happening at that exact same day, puts the icing on the cake and amplifies everything. So it's really an amazing day, a huge chance for you. So start the day very consciously, be present, and do as much as you can to move through this day in a very conscious way. Because this means it will be really dramatic for all people who are not in balance. Especially high achievers in particular can really crumble quickly because they are used to using their ego and will to get things done. And that no longer works in this new energy. They hit a wall, and that can cause big problems. Ask yourself what wants to unfold from inside out in you, not what you want to force in with your ego. And we're starting this new energy, this new 5D with a synarchy. Synarchy is completely something different. It's not a patriarchy, it's not a hierarchy. Synarchy means like a swarm of fish or birds. They're flying or swimming in complete coherence, but nobody's the leader because they're all going in the same direction. They all have the same goal. And that's what 5D is, and that's what we're heading to. That's why all these leaders are falling. Everything will be brought to the surface, all the darkness, because we are actually empowering and liberating ourselves. Also, all these gurus and leaders, they are not necessary anymore. We are our own inner leader and guru. So this time until June 11, where Pluto goes back into Capricorn for a few months again, is a foretaste of the new time. The third dimension is about to break and dissolve, and it will intensify everything at least until October. So start planting the seeds now to harvest when Pluto re-enters into the sign of Aquarius in January 24. I will keep you updated regularly on my channel, giving you tips on how to ride these tsunami movements as gracefully as possible to avoid getting under the reels. So like and subscribe to the channel to not miss anything. Until next time.